What is going on, you guys? MadamRoastBeef here, and today we're reacting to a topic from a video that I think more people should talk about. And I'm honestly a little nervous to talk about what I'm about to talk about, guys. But I think it's important, and it's something that I have mentally been thinking for so many years, and it's been crazy. And I never know how to articulate my sentences to speak about it, but I think it's important. I think it is important, and I want to talk about it because I don't know, I'm having a really hard time with the transgenders. I know that's like maybe offensive to some people, but it is true when you literally have families transitioning, the wife, the husband, the kids. Like, oh my God, what is that? That's not normal. That's not normal. That's not right. That is incorrect. And in a lot of ways it's so damaging to the trans community, and it is scary. We're going to be reacting to Blaire White reacting to Jennings, which is one of the most heartbreaking stories that was like politicized and televised to her deranged mom could make money. And it is guys, it's so fucked up. It's the craziest thing that I have ever heard about, and I want to watch and react to Blaire reacting to this. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this, guys. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this because I know that it is so controversial. But I like Blaire White. I don't like the Donald Trump supporting. I think he is gonna be the end of humanity. Genuinely, I genuinely believe that. At the same time, I like Blaire White. I think Blaire White is fucking beautiful as fuck. Honestly, I would fuck Blaire White. not to be ridiculous, but I think Blaire White is honestly so beautiful. I love her personality, and I agree with 99, honestly 100% of her opinions regarding the trenders and how trendy it has become to say I'm non-binary. Like that is not a thing. You're non-binary, but you look like a woman, and you don't do anything to actually represent as being non-binary. I'm sorry, that's not true. That should not you do not get to take a label and label yourself something and disrespect people that actually are suffering from gender dysphoria, a real medical condition. The only reason that anyone should transition, or do we forget that? That is the only reason that anyone should transition is if they have gender dysphoria. The years ago, it used to be so difficult to begin the process of transitioning. And unfortunately, now because of TikTok and because it's trendy to be transgender, and you have people that are abusive, men getting into women's sports. I mean, it just so perverse rapists. I mean, so many just horrible things happening. And I'm honestly afraid. I'm honestly very scared for the trans community, and it breaks my heart, and it really does it hurts me really bad. And I understand that that trans people, yes, have such a high suicide rate, all these things. At the same time, at the same time, that is why you should scan to make sure that genetically and permanently modifying your body is the decision that you want to make. I'm not against people transitioning. I'm against making it as easy as it is to transition because it's so easy. I could go say, I want to be a lady. I'm MadamRoastBeef. And I actually used to have really bad gender dysphoria as a little gay boy. And guess what? I grew out of it like most people do. It's okay for kids to be gay. It's okay for kids to be lesbians. Like what is that? Let gay boys live, let lesbians exist. What is this fucked up world? It is so weird. Let's like the video, give some Blaire some love, and let's get into this reaction. I just had a rant in the beginning because I know people are gonna say, God, you're reacting to Blaire White. What a conservative dick pig you are. I'm not conservative. I'm as progressive as possible. I have always voted left, and I may disagree with a lot of the DNC Democrat elites, but I still am. I do have progressive viewpoints, and I don't know what else to say. I like Blaire White. Sorry. I think conservatives and progressives and Democrats can coincide. I think we can exist together. Let's watch this video. Let's get into this. Embrace yourself, guys. It's going to be a heartbreaking journey. It really is. And I'm excited to see what Blaire has to say
living as
about
a
it.
girl.
Girl brain and boy body. Or will say things like God made you special.
Like, you can be a
there aren't very
feminine
many
boy.
little girls out there that have a.
Why are you cutting there? Right here? Yeah, why? If you don't have to cut this, why would you cut that?
The mother just told this baby
You're your own worst enemy. To anyone with any discernment, right?
It's so horrifying.
The mother is the child's worst enemy. I have been so reluctant to talk about Jazz Jennings on this channel for years.
Because it's a kid, it's controversial.
I genuinely feel very bad for Jazz.
So bad.
And
would have just been a gay boy.
I see the way she's handled by other kind of YouTubers and right-wing commentators, and I'm not exactly cool with the way she's handled and spoken about.
A kid, a child.
Because Jazz is a victim.
Never even got to go through puberty. What the fuck?
Right.
Oh my God.
Try as people may to make me out to be the villain of the trans community, the Voldemort of the trans community, the bully. I have zero interest in attacking someone I believe to be a victim.
And Jazz
and that
is
is
a victim.
The trepidation I've felt over the years is very much, I don't want to post a video necessarily about Jazz and have her log on to her socials or something, and she's getting comments about Blaire White did a video on you. Because I know what that would probably make her feel like, because I know my reputation and I know where she lands ideologically, and
so sad.
She's not going to feel great about that. But at some point, it's got to speak the truth, right? And this is very important.
Yeah, you got to talk about it.
So if you don't know, Jazz came out as transgender at 2.
What is that? What does that even mean?
Because that makes sense.
What does that even mean?
She had a full bottom surgery sex change. 17. You know that thing that they say they're not doing to minors?
Yeah,
it's
and
a right-wing conspiracy.
And to pause here, when you have a vaginoplasty, it's measured by the length of the penis. That's how deep your vagina is able to be. And the sickest part is, because she was on puberty blockers, Jazz never went through puberty, so she had a micropenis. And so she basically had no vagina, because she was not able to have a vaginal canal. And guys, it's just so fucked up. It's so scary. There's just so many things wrong with this situation, and there's so many things wrong with how easy it is to access the ability to transition. I mean, they're not even worried about diagnosing people with actual gender dysphoria anymore, and it is so fucked up. It is so sick.
On TV.
It is so sick,
babes. So sex change at 17, came out at 2, puberty blockers at 11. Sorry, I'm all over the place. It's like, this is just, I don't like this story. For lack of a better phrase, it triggers me. I am not embarrassed to use that phrase.
An actual transgender woman is actually triggered. That's true.
By
and very valid.
And what's been done to her by her parents, by TLC, the television network, by these doctors, by these activists, by everyone. So we're going to watch a little montage of Jazz's life to really paint the picture of how demented this entire thing has been.
At just 11 years old, she is the brave and beautiful new face of a child born in the wrong body.
And I'm already having an issue.
Like, what does that even mean?
First of all, look at that baby. They just said this baby, this child, this innocent soul was born in the wrong body. First of all, even as a transsexual adult, I have never and would never subscribe to this stupid talking point, this stupid toxic mantra of born in the wrong body. And I understand that.
That is crazy.
On the outside looking in, someone could look at me and be like, Blaire, how could you feel like you weren't born in the wrong body when you changed it?
Exactly.
You don't have to get it. I don't believe I was born in the wrong body. I believe everything I've ever done. Life
and everyone that transitions, it's them reacting and changing their body to be happy.
Where I'm
That's
ultimately
not
living a great, happy life. So
as a transsexual, there's nothing wrong with that.
That before Jazz was able to even experience life, she was 2 when she came out. She was being told things like, "You're in the wrong body."
Yeah, that's so sick. That is abuse. That is so fucked up.
A girl brain and boy body.
All right.
My God.
How old was Jazz there?
I have a girl brain and a boy body. Like, no, you have a feminine boy brain and a boy body. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, let boys be feminine. Oh my God, it's so sick.
3?
It's so 4? Fucked up. You can like Barbies. I like
Even
Barbies.
In preschool? Yeah, because that was young.
I wore dresses.
And to already have a camera in her face.
Telling her that she's a girl.
A boy with a girl brain.
That's crazy.
will
It's
say
crazy.
things like God made you special, because there aren't very many little girls out there that have a penis.
Oh, what the fuck?
Okay.
And guys, this is coming from
So-
someone.
We are.
This is coming from someone that I genuinely had very bad gender dysphoria. You know when you play games with your friends and you pretend to be people? Guess who always pretended that they were a girl? Every single time. Me, because I wanted to be feminine, because I also thought that I could not be a feminine boy. The difference is when I was doing this and I was being a kid, the difference is that I wasn't being told by the world that I needed to transition because I was feminine, that I needed to change my body because I was a feminine boy. It's really sick. It's so fucked up.
Are
It's so sick.
a minute in. I
It's
have
so
already
sick.
heard her mother, her toxic mother,
Money hungry mother.
talk about her channel. Why, Miss Mother, are you talking about your child's genitals on television at all?
For money. It's
I don't
sick.
understand, but I could imagine
It is so
the amount
creepy.
of layers that it would take for someone like Jazz to have to go through over probably the course of decades, really, to unpack and really get to that final destination of understanding that this is a very abusive situation. Because when this is what it is at two,
Yeah, what has it
most people
turned
don't even have
into?
memories at that age, right? Like that's, if it's not on camera, would she even remember her mother talking about her special penis?
It's so sick.
It's demented.
It's so sick.
They allowed Jazz to openly identify in the opposite gender because they and their doctor were
Look how young.
That's such a baby.
And clearly just had a camera up in her face from the start.
That's so sick. It's
Probably
so
pitching
sick.
that reality show that they didn't get until she was around like 11 or 12, right? Probably already
It's
pitching
true.
it.
And it's true
Get
too.
Barbara
That's the
Walters
sick
on
part.
deck. Let's get that money rolling in, right?
That check.
We got to monetize this child abuse. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. I don't care. I don't care. Because even if we are to grant that this baby is genuinely experiencing gender dysphoria, let's go there, right? Let's go there.
Right.
Let's
And
go
here I'm gonna
there.
pause really quick. The reason I say the only reason that people with chronic gender dysphoria, chronic, I mean like you cannot function, should transition, is because being transgender, that is not, it can be a good life. Look at Blaire. She's beautiful, she's gorgeous, she's made a beautiful career in life for herself. The difference is nobody should want to be trans. You should deal with being trans by it being a release, an escape of your gender dysphoria. That is the only reason that you should transition. But because of TikTok, because everybody wants to make cash and become popular and all these other fucked up things, it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me why we are encouraging people to transition when it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to transition. It's so sick. I don't say that to devalidate people. I say that as someone, like I said, who had really bad gender dysphoria. I wanted to be a girl so bad. I never understood why I couldn't be like my favorite movie icon, Snow White. I never understood why I wouldn't find Prince Charming, you know, all these other things. I never understood that. And the difference is that I grew older and older and older, and as I grew older and older and older, and I kept getting called a faggot and gay and all these other horrible things at 8 years old, I said, like, I guess I'm gay. And thank God I got bullied and made fun of, because could you imagine if I'd been told I was a girl and I was forced to transition? Oh my God. Like, sure, could I have possibly lived my life happy as a transgender person? Sure. But girl, I have fucking brain cancer. I've had so many brain surgeries. My last MRI just said my brain cancer could be possibly progressing. I'm not trying to be transgender living with brain cancer and needing to pay debt for cosmetic surgeries. Oh my God. It is not right to see this done to a child since they were 2. Let them grow up and let them wear the clothes they want to wear. We don't put them on hormones and change their body and cut off their genitalia. Oh my god, mutilate their genitalia. I'm against circumcision for a reason, because I don't want you to irreparably, irreversibly mutilate someone's genitalia, because that is so fucking weird. That is so not normal. And to turn it into a vaginoplasty when it's based on the length of the penis, but because she was denied the ability to go through puberty, she had no penis length. It's so fucking sick.
And grant that
It's so demented.
this baby was born with gender dysphoria, which, you know, I don't know if I was born with it, but I know it occurred at a very young age. So it's not necessarily beyond me fathoming that that's a possibility, right? Even if you believe that Jazz is a genuine example of a genuine trans person who would have genuinely ended up that way as an adult on her own volition, you definitely can't say with a straight face, look at me in my eyes, that she consented to all of this on camera, right? Because
yeah, a reality show.
And an example of someone who would have
of their mom talking about their dick.
You definitely would agree that's probably a delicate process that deserves some
private process,
and
exactly.
respect of the individual going through it, no matter what age, right? So
that's so fucked up.
If this was a genuine journey, maybe you don't put the camera in the kid's face, right? Maybe don't throw the kid on TV, right?
Maybe don't cash a
talk about
check.
The kid's genitals on TV, and we are 1 minute and 30 seconds into this clip. Hi.
That's crazy. And it's such an important thing that more people need to talk about. It doesn't make any sense at all.
This was not a phase, but a condition now called gender dysphoria.
A phase is called a phase because it is just that. It ends. And
you never gave it a chance of ending.
Stronger.
You're never allowed it to end.
How could it end?
Exactly.
You started it at 2. The child's entire identity has been constructed around this thing now, right? That's what people don't really understand. That even the social transitioning of these extremely young children is very toxic.
It's so toxic.
You are constructing
so
an identity
harmful.
around it at that point, rather than letting that child develop an identity without a reconstruction.
And discover
right?
who they are.
You don't have to reconstruct a child's identity. You let them grow into it. So that's why I feel like my transition has worked out so well for me. And people might not understand this, and you gotta kind of go through it to understand it, but try to stick with me, please.
And Blaire looks beautiful. So hot.
I don't feel
Even
like
my gay
I
ass
had
can
to
say she's so gorgeous.
reconstruct an identity to become myself, right?
Exactly.
A name change, sure. But other than that, like, I really naturally kind of grew into the person that I am today. Jazz had her identity reconstructed at 2.
Literally stolen.
At 2, there was an end point, and now you are Girl Jazz. And now we are putting you on TV. So now we're getting to the point in this video where we are now at age 17.
That is crazy.
Lots happened in between, but now we're at 17. Time to get that sex change. We've been filming you. You're on season like 8 of your reality show. It's time to get that sex change. We need that season finale. Jazz. Jazz's mom, Jazz's dad. Ratings are getting low. Gotta cut that off now, right?
That is so
I'm really
sick.
not trying to be funny. I know I talk sometimes a crazy way, but that's really what it is.
No, that
We're
is
filming a
exactly
sex
what it
change
is.
in this scene, but it's botched.
That's so fucking demented. And it's botched
Taking
because
Jazz
she had a
on
little
as
dick, right?
patient for surgery, we knew it was going to be
Because
a
she never
one-of-a-kind
developed
surgery. I was just not
puberty.
expecting her to have a complication as severe as what she did have. Jazz has had a very difficult surgical course. There were problems, and that prompted a second surgery.
The shining example of a childhood transition sex story has to have
I hope
multiple
Blaire explains why.
to get it right, because she's been botched.
Yeah.
And if you
Because
know
you
why
need to
she's
go through
botched, this is
puberty.
the reason. So to create a neo-vagina,
Yeah, she's going to talk about it.
a male to female sex change surgery, you have to have enough to start with to
Exactly.
create that canal, right? Very graphic here, but stick with me. Basically, the length of your genitals, your penis, when you start, equals the length of the depth. So when you don't go through puberty because you were on blockers at 11, you don't
So
develop anything
fucked
down
up.
there, right?
Micro
You never
penis.
develop the ability to orgasm.
Which is sick. Could you
And
imagine robbing
You
someone?
don't develop enough
Oh
genitals to turn into a different type of genital,
my
right?
god, it's just so fucked up.
If you can even consider that a genital that they're giving this baby. I personally kind of don't, right? Like I don't.
It's like Nazi shit. It's terrifying.
And again, I don't like saying that.
The
when I'm
experiments,
talking
they
about
really
this
are.
victim, because I feel bad, but that's my honest feeling.
It's so
So-
sick.
Where exactly does this narrative come from that this path of puberty blockers before puberty, hormones early teens, and then sex change late teens? Where exactly does this narrative come from that that's the proper path when their shining example couldn't get a proper sex change because of the puberty blockers, right?
Exactly.
So puberty blockers are safe,
doesn't make
reversible,
any
and essential for,
sense.
the health of these transgender children.
Puberty
but they
blockers
stopped
should
her
not
from getting this
happen
surgery
to
that
children.
they built up over the course
Ever.
of 17 years of her life. Right. And they built up seasons of her reality show for that finale, right?
That's so fucking sick.
Monetization and exploitation, right? They monetized this baby getting a botched neo-vagina.
Hopefully after this revision, it'll look good once it heals. But if I lose some of my sensation and nerve endings, I might never experience an orgasm.
You're not gonna, babe. I don't think you will.
I don't think it's
And again,
possible.
Am I saying that to hurt your feelings? No. I'm saying that because I think that may... She's not gonna watch this, okay? But the point is, I think that may
No,
paint the
Blaire, she
picture
probably
a
will
little
watch
clearer
this.
that this is an abuse victim. Your parents sterilized you. So I've heard
That
you
is
get
so
this out, because it's, like,
sick.
really rough. Your parents sterilized you.
Yeah, they literally took away your ability to
Your
have an
parents-
orgasm.
Deleted your natural human ability to engage in sexual intercourse and experience pleasure from it. And they did that before they even got rid of your genitals. See, that happened before they even got rid of the genitals. You never stood a chance. And that was your parents' decision. Because
For money.
cosmetic surgeries happening to children, right, when they are minors, are the parents' decision. So your parents chose that for you. You didn't choose it for you. No matter how much you've been gaslit into thinking you really made that choice at 2, you didn't, baby. You didn't.
That is so
I mean,
fucked
it's really
up.
fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
Oh, this scene is demented. This scene, they filmed the botching taking place.
What?
When you watch this, you are going to be, it's not graphic, but you are going to be horrified.
Why are you cutting there? Right here? Yeah, why?
Why are you
Because of
cutting
this
there?
is scar, Jess. I don't like it. Yeah, but there's scar everywhere. If you don't have to cut this, why would you cut that? We could just advance
Oh.
it to there. Jess, let me know.
Are you picking up on what's happening? There are 2 surgeons working on this baby,
Arguing?
and they're arguing about what to cut and what not to cut.
Oh my god.
They are getting in a genuine verbal altercation over
all for money.
what to cut and what not to cut.
It's
As
like
if that shouldn't have
Nazi
been something figured
research. It's so scary. It's
out
what the
before you started
Nazis were
cutting,
doing.
right?
Oh my god.
So, this baby has been... I hope I'm not coming across as funny by saying this baby, this baby. I'm being serious. This is a baby to me, right? She has had her entire life exploited and monetized. She's had an entire sex change exploited and monetized.
For
I bet you the
what?
producers have made a lot more than Jax, right?
Oh,
off all
for
of this.
sure. Oh, for sure.
So much so that even the botching of her surgery
Was filmed.
is occurring on the show.
It's filmed.
Hi. So could anyone really expect her to ever really work through all these layers of trauma, of manipulation, lies, gaslighting, exploitation, and get to the point where she could see these people as her abusers? Because I don't think she could. And that's duh. Right? Like, normal abuse victims really only have to worry about their sometimes singular abuser doing that to them, sometimes multiple in the family. Jazz has an entire family doing it, right? An entire camera crew.
Yeah, and the whole
doing it.
crew and the fucking writers
An
and everything.
entire medical system doing it.
My God.
Who could work through that? And on another level,
Especially as a
the entire
child
world has in some
watching.
way joined in on that gaslighting.
Yeah,
and
joining an
abusing as well,
opinion. Oh
because
my God.
it's not enough. It's what's so demented about this. People are starting to wake up now, but this show has had many seasons, and Jazz's story is seen as something to be celebrated. So it's not enough that child abuse is being televised. It's that society is so demented that they can't even register as child abuse, therefore letting it
They won't
continue.
even acknowledge
And then
it.
actually, another layer beyond that. They're not just letting it continue, they're celebrating it and making
Millions.
profit for the producers. So, again, layer,
It's terrifying.
layer. And you think Jazz is ever going to come to? I genuinely hope so. But if she never does, who can blame her? Right?
That is
This
so
is sick.
fucked up. It's
Arguing
so
about
sick.
what to cut. Shouldn't you know what to cut? This is her second surgery, by the way. This is the one to fix the first botch. And they're in the second one,
And they're
arguing about
arguing.
what to cut.
And they don't even know what they're doing.
How am I going to have a heart attack?
But
That is
doesn't make any sense.
horrifying.
Why do you need to cut that? Because this is a disfiguring scar.
How do you know it's not a disfiguring scar? That's just a sulcus. Either the two labia. I mean, you may be
Labia.
right, but we don't know.
Jeff,
Why don't we just open this up and then see what this is
Let me-
about?
Oh my God.
let me go.
I will say that I feel like things should happen in a more methodical way.
You think, Dad? You think? First of all, it shouldn't be happening at all. But yeah, agreed. If you're going to do it, they should probably know how to do it, right?
I should know what the fuck the steps are.
But that's what they don't really tell you about bottom surgery for male to female or female to male, is that none of these surgeons really know what the fuck they're doing.
No, it's like
That's
Nazi
Dr. Marcy
research.
Bowers.
It really
That-
is.
The trans doctor, the trans woman doctor that was cutting up Jazz, she is one of the leading sex change surgeons on the planet.
That's horrifying.
On the planet. Has been famous for a long time doing that. And she is arguing about what to cut and what not to cut. And this is the leading surgeon. So none of these surgeons really know what they're doing, right?
It's gonna be a long video, guys,
So,
but this is important
that's
to me,
what
and
you
I
can't
think
say
it's
to
so
all parents out
important.
there.
It's so
You're not
important.
doing the right thing.
You're not. Let
Doing
your
the
kids
good
grow
thing.
up
Ever, really.
and then make
But
the decision. Let
definitely
them
not
make the
with any of
decisions.
these surgeons on screen. This scene is making
It
headlines
is so
because
fucked up.
they are now monetizing a new storyline where the mother is questioning if Jazz is asexual. Go figure. You sterilize your child.
Yeah, you sterilized her, made her have no sex drive or
They made her
ability to
have a sex drive.
orgasm. Oh,
right?
of
Spoiler
course.
alert, it also works on the family dog.
Oh my
You
God.
do that to
you
the
neuter
family
it.
dog as well
Yeah, you neuter it or
to get them
you
to
get it
not want to hump
spayed.
things anymore.
Oh my God.
Right? Works on people. Right? Works
This
on
is
people.
so
Works on
fucked
innocent
up.
children as well. Yeah.
You think she might be asexual?
That face.
It's disgusting.
Was there a drop of guilt I'm seeing in that face? Probably not. I hope your film's some kind of guilt, because if she is asexual, which we know she is, how could she not be? She never went through puberty, never had an orgasm, and then
And she never will.
right.
And she never will.
So definitely asexual. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And will never experience an orgasm robbed
And
from
you did
her.
that, Mom. Mother dearest.
Oh,
You took away your son's future as a normal, healthy,
human.
functioning adult.
A normally healthy, functioning adult human.
You and your husband.
For money.
Your pig husband. Y'all are both in the pig trough.
So Chris poses the question of Jazz being asexual. If anybody knows they're asexual, Jazz would know that about herself.
No, she wouldn't. You
Hey,
didn't. You didn't
She's
allow
always known
her.
everything about herself, right? that self-awareness isn't present at 2.
You didn't even allow her
She's
to
been
go through
believed
puberty
ever since 2.
and develop a functioning penis.
This is a sick bitch.
Oh my god.
I am not trying to be funny. I know the way I talk can sometimes seem funny. This is a sick bitch.
No, it is. Feminine boys are
Hello.
allowed to exist. Holy
My
fuck.
God. So you sterilize your child, and now you're doing a whole storyline, right, about her being asexual. So we're gonna monetize now
Your
a
mistake.
new storyline.
Your mistake.
Ratings are getting low. New storyline, come on. About her not having a sex drive, as if everything else, including the botched surgery happening on camera, wasn't
That is
embarrassing
fucking
enough for this
crazy.
child, this baby. Now you gotta monetize her complete lack of sex drive that you caused.
That you are the result of.
Wow.
That you are the reason for.
Pig. In a wig.
You're not asexual. I'm definitely not asexual. I don't love kissing just because but I do like to kiss when the bond is there, right? I have that emotional connection.
So,
My god.
you're not asexual, but you can only bond with people emotionally, not sexually. You don't want to kiss, but you're not asexual. So, again,
Wow.
don't anyone dare.
Let kids
twist
grow
this into
up
me attacking
before you
Jazz.
irreversibly surgerize
I do have
them.
to let you know, though, Jazz.
It's so
and this
fucking
is coming
sick.
from a loving place, and my tone of voice, I will calm it down, is angry because I'm angry about what happened to you.
It is so sick.
Normal sexuality, right? People
Happens
with a
through
normal
puberty.
functioning sex drive, even a low sex drive,
Happens through puberty.
they want to kiss,
Yeah.
sometimes even without an emotional bond, right?
A lot of the time. Haha.
In fact, it happens a lot. And you're at that
Exactly.
age where you should be wanting to do that, right?
I'm getting horny at 17.
So, I know you said in one breath that you're not asexual, but you also said in that same breath that you don't have any desire for anything physical unless there's an emotional connection. Which means at the very best, you have an extremely low sex drive, but in the probable reality, you have 0. Right?
Yeah, none. Non-existent.
And
one.
that's what your parents did to you, baby. They did it to you.
For
And
money.
imagine.
For what? For clout?
Imagine.
For money? What the fuck?
The good
Irreversible.
that Jazz could do for the world if Jazz somehow came to from this haze, this fog created by her family, her
This
television
tornado
producers, her
mist.
doctors, the media, right, the world. Realize what's happened to her and became an anti-child sex change advocate. She would be the most powerful one, and she would end this shit in a week.
Thank God. Please do
Right?
it. It's
She
so
would
wrong.
End this shit in a week.
Don't let this happen to any more kids.
But
Please.
I'm not putting that responsibility on her. No one should ever put any responsibility
Right.
on this baby.
You can't
Ever.
expect that.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, TLC, the way you've abused her, I'm going to need you to pay her rent somewhere nice for the rest of her life.
Rest of her time on this
Let her
planet.
kick her feet up. She's done enough. She's had enough done to her.
And even then, that wouldn't result in the damages.
Let her disappear from the spotlight, right?
Holy
You're
fuck.
monetizing her asexuality caused by her botched sex change.
Sometimes I do think I'm demisexual, which is like, I don't know if I feel like being physical unless an emotional connection is there.
You can't orgasm, baby.
I
Ever
mean,
in your whole
baby.
life. In your whole life.
I am someone with a pretty low sex drive. People don't maybe know that about me, right? I don't really talk about sex very often. I'm not super open about that, but for the sake of this conversation, let's be real. I don't have much of a sex drive, right? I've kind of always been that way, even before transitioning, but the hormones definitely have exacerbated that. But even with my lower than average sex drive, I sometimes have that physical desire. In fact, pretty regularly have it. So that would be normal of someone with a low sex drive to still
Right.
regularly have an urge, a desire, right?
A desire, exactly.
What you're describing is having no physical desires or urges.
Because they were robbed from you.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
I know I can't get out of my head.
I know. No, listen.
It just doesn't stop.
It's okay. Give me a hug. It's okay. I know what you're going through. I've been there.
No, it
No,
still
you
doesn't stop
don't,
now.
no.
And I'm already going back to negative.
But just more you're talking about yourself, it gets harder. So this is hard for you. I know. And we don't want, I'm the one doing it. Like, I know you're your own worst enemy.
This is really bad.
This is so sick.
Like, to watch this, what's up is
The manipulation
mother
that happened there.
just told this baby, you're your own worst enemy.
The
And
mother
to
told her
anyone
kid
with
that. Ha! So fucking sick.
any discernment, right? The mother is the child's worst enemy.
Worst enemy.
Sorry, I don't hate and cry.
Abuser,
Lord.
honestly.
Crying on
Abuser.
YouTube. Nightmare. But what I'm watching is like really sad.
I really want to understand myself and be able to read my own soul and what I want. I just want to feel like myself. Like, that's it. I don't care. All I want is to be happy and feel like me, and I don't feel like me ever.
I don't feel like me ever. Because you weren't allowed to
So-
discover who you are. Because it was robbed from you.
And
Oh my god.
so the entire storyline of your life on this show has been about how you knew your soul at 2. And here you are at what, 2021?
Saying you don't know who you are.
And you don't have it figured out. So how did you have it figured out at 2, baby? Right?
That is so sick.
And
Let
how
kids
do you
grow
look at your
up
parents?
and let them wear whatever clothes they
I
want.
can't look at your parents seriously, that they took you seriously at 2, right? Because you're here as an adult, not knowing where you're going and what's going on.
It should be criminal.
Saying I can't get out of my head. I want to feel like me and never feel like me.
It
Wasn't
should
the
be
whole purpose
fucking
of I Am
criminal.
Jazz, how that's you, and the entire journey was to finally feel like you. So for you to now be saying I never feel like me, I mean that's a fucked up sentiment to feel.
That is so
Because
sick, man.
as someone who, you know, transitioned and
Yeah.
ultimately
The thing to pause real quick, the difference between someone like Jazz, whose life and identity was stolen from them, and someone like Blaire, is Blaire knew because she was able to grow up and have a normal life and have normal, puberty, and was able to figure out I am not a boy. I am not a boy. She was able to make that decision with her own volition. She was able to make that decision on her own accord. The difference with Jazz is her mom said, "Aw, you're a girl. You like dresses. You like the color pink. Let's cut off your dick and put you on puberty blockers so you never can go through puberty and never experience what it's like to be a boy because you're feminine." Why can't feminine boys exist? Why is that not allowed? Why do you need to attach the label of you're a transgender child? To let children go through puberty, let children discover themselves. Just because your kid likes the color pink, because your daughter likes football or sports, or is a lesbian, or is whatever, like so fucking what? Why do we need to irreversibly take things like puberty blockers and stop the development of these children before they can even fully discover who they are? It's so sick. And it's one of the main reasons I am such a I'm maybe not loud because I am a loser, because I am just a loser with brain cancer, and unfortunately I'm struggling. But it's so important that this becomes something that more people acknowledge and are not afraid to talk about, because this is so wrong. This is so wrong. It's so
benefited
sick.
from it.
And they
right?
financially got to
And
make profit. The parents, it's sick. And all
feels
of
like me every
TLC.
day. That's supposed to be about the only reward from transitioning is to kind of feel like you. And
Exactly.
no matter who's watching this video that doesn't get it from the outside looking in.
Exactly.
like,
Jazz does
ultimately,
not feel like herself.
whether
She
you
should
think
not have
it's gonna work or not,
transitioned.
that's why we do it, right?
Because she should
So,
have been allowed to stay a
For
he.
her to not have that result,
It's
when
so
I know it is
sick.
possible because I'm living it, that's fucked up, right? If it is to be hailed as the success story, the trans success story.
It's so sick. It's so fucked up.
Maybe I'm getting more emotional than I need to be about this, but I really don't think I am. Like,
You're not.
you know, we watched a child be abused their entire life.
Their whole life. For
Yeah,
money,
me
for
crying,
monetary
yeah.
values.
Love you guys. See you in the next video.
For monetary values. And guys, I really do, I like that Blaire was not afraid to talk about this, because it is a very delicate, it is definitely a very delicate thing to discuss, because especially because it's involving someone that was abused their whole life since they were a fucking child. But yeah, no, there really is something wrong here. I'm gonna go edit this now so I can get this up, because it's like over 24 hours. Just now 23, about to be 24 hours since this video went up. But really upsetting, and we need to stop the trans trenders. Let people grow up and discover who they are before you start this idea that they need to transition. Oh my god, let them find out if they are. Let them find out if they're actually suffering from gender dysphoria, which is the only fucking reason anyone should transition. Let them discover that on their own. Let them live their life and discover that. You should grow into gender dysphoria and then handle it on your own accord. Saying, oh, you like the color pink? You like Barbie dolls? Let's cut that dick off. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, let's sterilize you and cut that dick off? It honestly feels like an anti-gay movement, because it doesn't make any other sense to me why somebody would not let someone just be a feminine boy and be a part of the gay community. Let them be gay men or gay women. Why is that? Why it doesn't make sense. But guys, I'm ranting. This video is like 40 minutes. I love you, and it's just so fucking upsetting, because I feel like if I was growing up today, because I really did. I had really awful gender dysphoria. I mean, look at just my YouTube name, MadamRoastBeef. It's not because I, think I'm a woman, but it's because I am a little feminine little bitch, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a feminine boy. There's nothing wrong with being a masculine girl. Fuck off. Quit surgerizing and irreversibly changing people before they can even discover who the fuck they are. It's demented, and I have never been more against it in my life. This story is a prime example of why it is so wrong. And Blaire, thank you for talking about it. I love you guys. I'm gonna have probably a couple TikTok things talking about the same issue too. So follow your bitch on TikTok, although I don't really ever use TikTok. And do not forget to subscribe and follow your bitch on Twitch. I stream there every night right now at 9 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. Pacific. And from the bottom of my heart, Blaire, thank you for talking about this, because it's so important and it's so fucked up. I love you guys. Like I said, I'm just a loser with brain cancer that really is having a hard time with life. But I knew I had to film this video because it's so wrong. It's so wrong. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment. I respond to pretty much every single one of you that leaves a comment. If you really did enjoy the video, please make sure to subscribe, and all my other links are listed down below. And follow me on Twitch for nightly live streams. Love you guys so much. Thank you.